facing the police every single day.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and this is the rant. I have not ranted in a long time. I finally got to the park here. I was gonna fly the drone. The stupid ass battery's dead. Jesus Christ, even when it's off it must be using its brain. What a drag. But anyways, I gotta do my walk. I'm old, I'm fat. We're slow because the snowbirds are gone. The good thing is we can get other stuff done, and I can do my rant. There's so much stuff that has happened, it's not even funny. So this is what's going on. Fake auditor Ian McGuire is in jail still, over 20 days. He went to, the FBI raided his house, and we're still not sure what they were going for, but we heard they got their computers and cell phones. And the detective from PUNTA GORDA is still waiting to see what they find. And then after FBI was in there, then Charlotte County Sheriff went in there. And they got to do the second search where fake auditor Ian McGuire, in my opinion, high-paid provocateur, and we probably stopped the next shooter. And this is the reason why I say that. He had a stalking order against him, and in Florida, if you have a stalking order against you, you cannot have guns because you have a stalking order, meaning you are dangerous. So he signed an affidavit telling the cops that he gave away his guns. 2 years ago, he got busted for a DUI, and they actually came over and got his guns. So they knew he had 32 guns at that time, and when they FBI, and by the way, we found out from his neighbors, went to his house yesterday because he didn't get out of jail, and interview his neighbors to see if he's psycho, and he's psycho. Anyways, they did do a 6 a.m. raid. They did use flashbangs. He did have cameras. They knocked the front camera off of his porch. There's another one down the porch. They unhooked that one. There's another one to the side of the house. They unhooked that one. Which actually I think that's bullshit. That's his right to record. Even though I hate his guts, I hope he burns in hell for what he did to our family and many other families. He still has rights. So anyways, the Charlotte County Sheriff found 32 guns in his house, thousands of rounds of ammunition, equipment to make bullets. When you have a restraining order here, you can't have one single fucking bullet. He even had stuff to make bullets. And the reason why we're thinking shooter is because he also had military equipment. He had a military helmet to prevent getting shot in the head, had a military bulletproof vest, and a couple other military things. So we are starting to wonder if he was the next shooter, because the things that he did near the end where he was arrested are the sign of somebody that has completely lost control. And some of you guys know what happened, some you don't. He stalked an old lady at a farmer's market. And the news channel interviewed a lawyer in town, Leskovich, and Leskovich said, yeah, you can record in public, but when you start stalking someone in public, especially a private person, and causing harm, that's not legal. And that is what he did. For no reason, just because she said don't record me, he just started following her around. It was like fucking sick stalker shit. And this is just a regular little old lady working at somebody's booth selling shit. So I do admit that I saw that news channel, what they did, and I called the old lady's boss to say, you guys might want to call this lawyer, because he was saying what he's doing is not legal. And they did call the lawyer, and then they did call the cops. So there is a stalking charge against Ian McGuire, willful stalking. So it's not just the charge of restraining order anymore. It's willful stalking. I mean, this is he did a lot of stupid stuff. So so now he's being charged with that. That's a first degree misdemeanor. You can get 1 year in jail. And since I had no idea this was going to happen, I mentioned it to the lady's boss. I am one of the main witnesses in the willful stalking case where he could and probably will do a year in jail for that. Because he literally went there multiple weekends harassing and stalking this little old lady who's not a government official. Like I said, Ian McGuire is a high-paid provocateur. There's many people on YouTube that are literally high-paid provocateurs. Ian McGuire is making $4,000 a month pissing people off to get a rise out of them to make money. A real auditor actually tries to get stuff changed, actually tries to get a lawyer. He did none of that. In fact, we actually tried to get him a lawyer one time. We got him the Rutherford Institute, and we handed him on a platter, here you go. All you got to do is talk to these lawyers. They're out of Washington, D.C., and he fucked it up. Rutherford asked him to do things, give us evidence, all this shit, and he threw it away. That is so much bullshit. So for 6 years, I've been trying to get stuff changed. I've been trying to get a lawyer, and I finally did get lawyers. We already got one lawyer. Charlotte County Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL is illegally collecting names of gun owners through the pawn list. That investigation led to FDLE was illegally going over 3 days giving people the right to buy a gun. And that turned into the first and biggest lawsuit for guns in Florida's history. Eric Friday has that. That's probably going to be 20,000 people, class action. That is proceeding. But we still have the biggest lawsuit coming in Florida, which is going to be the pawn list, the illegal list of gun owners. That is massive. Just fucking huge. Then we finally got a lawyer, Andrew Bondrew from Jacksonville, that is suing Punta Gorda, 1983 federal lawsuit for making an ordinance 2 years ago that you can't record audio and video of a public official in a public place doing their public duty. That's so fucked up, unconstitutional, it's not even funny. That violates free speech, the right to record. And it literally says in our ordinance, until somebody questions our illegal law, it will stand. They even had the state attorney, 20th Circuit, that wrote them a letter. They tried to get the fake auditor, Ian McGuire, on felony wiretap for filming. And they said, you are fucking morons. They have the right to film. And Punta Gorda government and lawyers said, fuck you, we're going to do it anyways. So I have been illegally trespassed under there. They have violated my rights. I cannot go there and hold them accountable or go to meetings. I have no redress, so that lawsuit is filed. That's Andrew Sheets against City of Punta Gorda, Fort Myers Federal Court, 1983. First Amendment and 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment because they have no redress. By case law, when they have any bullshit like this, they have to have redress. When I got trespassed, I went to the police station to report them for illegally trespassing me and violating my rights. And they said, Justin Duvall, the fat bastard himself who's addicted to donuts and sugar, so he's an addict. When I said, where's my redress? When do I get kangaroo court? He said, get a lawyer. And he walked away, basically saying, fuck you. So I would like to say, fuck you, Justin Duvall. By the way, you just read in the paper today, Justin Duvall and the Punta Gorda Nazis said that we need to reconnect with the Punta Gorda youth and teach them that police are good and they're there for good stuff and safety, and that the police state is awesome and everything's being illegal is just fine, which is absolute bullshit. It is not fine. That is not what our founding fathers fought for. They're going to teach a class next year on that propaganda. That is exactly, people keep getting pissed off. You got to quit mentioning Nazis. Fucking look at your history, people. This is exactly what the Nazis did. It's called the Hitler Youth, brown shirts, man. They knew to brainwash the masses, they got to get them while they're young. So they literally taught the teachers and the kids in school, Hitler is awesome. Turn in your parents. Are they helping the Jews? That's going to be the same thing here. Does mommy and daddy smoke pot? Does mommy and daddy text while driving? Does mommy and daddy put their seatbelt on? Blah, blah, blah. So it's indoctrinating and propagandizing your kids. And that was in the paper today. They're bragging that they're going to get a grant to teach that class to brainwash your kid. Isn't that weird? They won't teach them the Constitution, and their founding fathers fought tyrants like them. In fact, the cops have completely surpassed what the Redcoat police did to us years ago. Redcoat police, we went to war with them against the British just for taxes, Fourth Amendment violation, taking over our house, and trying to take our guns. We fought a whole country, 3%, that's why they call it 3%ers, just because of that. So that gives you an idea. We have far surpassed that. Then what's really fucked up about Punta Gorda doing that, this is the same stupid ass place that Lee Cole let his dog eat a guy for no lights on his bicycle. Then the police didn't do their job and charge and fire that cop. And the cop went on to shoot an old lady, executing her. And they had to fire the chief of police because he's so stupid, and the cop. And they're still trying to charge him in court 3 years later. And they just keep extending it and extending it. The beautiful thing is Copwatch is working because... what was I going to say? Copwatch is working because we did so much stuff. At that time, the big YouTube channel was up, Live Free or Die. It was illegally taken down 2 years ago, we believe, by the sheriff and possibly even Ian McGuire, working as a confidential informant with them, struck it down. That was at 70 million views at the time, 4 million views a month, 60,000 subscribers. We were crucifying them online on Facebook and YouTube. We heard awesome stories of how many people were calling the Punta Gorda police and the Charlotte County Sheriff of their tyranny on the Sheeple. And it was illegally taken down. Now I'm shadow banned from hell. I have no idea. I cannot wait for a lawsuit someday where we can start pulling records and find out what the hell they told YouTube to make them shadow ban me this hard. Because I used to get thousands and millions of views on a video, and now I get barely anything. That's not normal. This is where I agree with Trump. Something's fucked up, man. Even Trump has stated it. All this crap I used to get on YouTube, on his Twitter, my numbers used to go up, not down, blah, blah, blah. It's happening to me. It's happened to others. Other people's channels have been taken down. I'm on my third channel. It almost got taken down again, and it did, by the illegal acts of the fake auditor Ian McGuire, doing copyright claims, which is bullshit. His stuff is not copyrighted, and I can, under fair use, I make no money, and for educational purposes, use pieces of it. And he's copyright struck me 4 times. And they took it down before I could respond. So if I ever get extra money, absolutely, I would love to sue him on that one alone. But before that happens, I would like to sue him on what he did to our family and the other families. Just because we are holding him accountable for the acts that he did to this old lady. So like I said, he went there 3 times. The third time that he went there on a different weekend to harass that old lady, it was to harass her that she did not get her instant restraining order. In fact, it was so big, so bad, that he harassed her and said, "Ha ha, you didn't get it instant." He recorded it and would not post it because he knew that would crucify him. Other people there did record it. There's 5 witnesses in this case, stalking case against Ian McGuire. And I am one of them. I've heard they do have the video evidence. Then he went online with his YouTube channel and his insane YouTube posse. He literally said online in his videos, "You guys know what to do." Meaning, you guys know what to do to harass this old lady. I have heard horror stories. It personally happened to my family. Felony witness tampering, 3rd degree. He doxed us on YouTube, put everybody, all witnesses' information, names, addresses, phone numbers online. And he started spoofing everybody's number. That means where you pretend to be somebody else's number. You can do that, but when you do illegal things with that, that is illegal as hell. So we were one of the few people, I think almost the only one, that had as many cameras as I did, and I documented everything, put it all online, and we believe that's another reason why he tried to illegally take down my YouTube channel. Yes, I'm stopping once in a while so you can see that this is nice out here. At the same time, it's not. The highway's right over there, but whatever. So that we believe that's another reason why he tried to illegally take down my YouTube channel. So the video where he doxed everybody is finally down. That video's down. This is what I find amazing. I've already talked to the, and I've said this to you guys many times. You can fight the police and still need the police. Absolutely. I never said that we can't have police. Of course you need police. You just don't need policing for profit. When you got real crimes like this happening, absolutely. When they're all being a road pirate for policing for profit, that is completely wrong. Big time. So anyways, they're waiting to file 5 felony witness tampering charges against Ian McGuire at Punta Gorda. They already got 3 felony witness tampering charges against Ian McGuire, fake auditor from Charlotte County, because he harassed a crime scene where this family had a gun pulled on them, and they reported it. And for 20 minutes, Ian was wasted and harassed him to the point where he wouldn't even post it on YouTube. I found it and posted it on YouTube. Then I showed every sheriff and cop in Florida, 200 cops, agencies, 60 different sheriff's agencies. I said, what the hell is going on here? If I did this, I would be in jail. He did this, he is not in jail. Is he a confidential informant? And what's insane is that, yes, in the new charges, my channel is mentioned in there again, because the victim saw the video on my channel. He put it on his Facebook. He did not put it on YouTube. So that's how I let everybody know what he did. Absolutely witness tampering. It was unbelievable the things he did and said that day. So yeah, that's how the witnesses saw it. All 60 sheriff and police saw it. Is I expose it, because like I said if I did this, I would be jail. If any other auditor did this, we would be in jail. So again, to me, this proves that we have heard rumor that he is a confidential informant, possibly put there to try to blow up all the the real auditors and patriots in Copwatch. He is working with another one called Mike Zarzano, which we already did here a year and a half ago from his ex-girlfriend, that he is a confidential informant. He is Ian's buddy. I have been threatened by him multiple times. I cut him off a long time ago. And I knew something was up with him from the minute, you know, I knew him, just different things he did and said. And now he sent my family a threat in email, third-degree felony witness tampering. And to cover his ass, because I forwarded that to the detectives, he went to Charlotte County and said, I'm being mean to him because I said that he's committing third-degree felony witness tampering, which he did. In fact, he even carbon copied Ian McGuire on that email where he said, you need to sit down and make up with Ian McGuire or it's going to get worse. This is during the time after Ian McGuire doxed everybody in the case, stalking case against him, and the spoofing started. It started like this. The minute he doxed all of us, we started having people show up from different service companies and the cops and the firefighters. This is where it gets totally legal. Spoofing is legal. You can pretend as a joke to spoof somebody's number. But when you do an illegal act with it, that is completely fucking illegal. In fact, we believe felony. He spoofed our number and called the fire department and said a squirrel, in one night, said a squirrel attacked me. Fire department showed up. I knew something was wrong the night that he doxed us, so I put a sign on the door that said, you've been pranked by Ian McGuire. Here's his phone number. Call him. Then after that one happened, he called the sheriff's office and said I tied my wife in a chair. If that sign was not on the door, I could have been swatted and killed by a cop just answering the door. In fact, I'm actually doing the fire department and the sheriff. I believe that is flat out 2 felonies. There's another felony coming. After that, in the same night, he called the fire department and said our house was on fire. We have video. Like I said, that's what's different from the other people that were harassed. We got cameras everywhere. I documented everything, all the phone calls, the nasty messages. Everything's on YouTube. And we had a firefighter with his axe almost break down my wife's window. This was so out of control. I am trying to get the 911 calls and all the radio chatter. And it must be pretty bad because they want $38 for something that shouldn't be redacted pretty much at all. The wife wants it so bad, she said pay it because we want to hear if it's the same voices that were leaving us nasty messages on our answer machine, which are all online. We are working on getting a detailed inventory of that because that's quite a bit of money for something that shouldn't be redacted at all. But yes, the Ian McGuire situation, fake auditor, high-paid provocateur, possibly next shooter, absolutely real. There's another couple issues that we put out. I was trying to find out what made him so psychotic. And I did an investigation. I said, how many incident reports in 6 years on Ian McGuire? There was 121. And I knew some were bullshit, but I started pulling them. And that's when I found out he lied to me. Years ago when I knew him, he said that some Mexican broke into his house and he had to shoot him in the back, which crippled him for life to save his own life. So, you know, Ian McGuire made it sound like the guy was in his house trying to take his life. I get the report, and I come to find out the guy never came into his house. He was at the back door. He was completely wasted. He was trying to break into the house. Never got in the house because he was so wasted. As he's walking away from the back door, with no weapon. There was a knife in his pocket, was not out, didn't have his hand in his pocket. Ian McGuire came out the door, took his 9mm and shot him in the back twice. Guy was on the ground, was not a threat. He was shot in the back twice. And just because he moved a little bit, shot him again. And I think they said the third shot 20 seconds later is the one that severed his spine. He's crippled for life. Ian McGuire literally told the cops that I wanted to execute him that night, but my gun jammed. That's not normal, man. If you already shot somebody in the back, he was not even a threat to you, and you say shit like that, that's fucked up. Then we get another incident report that talked about he supposedly went to his dad's house and found his dad in his bed, dead, with the covers over him, and a gun in his hand and a bullet in his head. The weird part of the story is instead of calling the cops and the fire department ASAP, he called his friends. And I have a friend that's a detective that when they saw that report, they knew the detective that was on that, who was brand new, only 2 months. They knew who Ian McGuire is, who is a full-blown psycho criminal. They said, bullshit. He should have been investigated for killing his dad for possibly gun and money. Period. Reopen the case. We have asked the sheriff to do that. We have not got a response. We have asked to reopen the case on the shooting in his back. Not gotten a response. So it is very, very fucked up. Something's going on. And again, in Charlotte County, the only time you can get away with shit like that is when you're a confidential informant. When you're a confidential informant in Charlotte County, you can pretty much get away with murder. They just want the small-time dealers to keep the jail full so they can kill more people without giving them medical help or just kill them. Under this sheriff, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill PRUMMELL, in 6.5, 7 years, more people have died than any other sheriff in office in that time. We believe they shot dead, execution style, 4 people in person. Only one time did they try to use less than lethal, and we don't even think that was enough tries at less than lethal. They still don't have body cameras, still don't have car cameras. We believe through not giving medical proper care in the jail and people committing suicide in jail, I believe it's up to 7. Now, the latest people that have executed an old man in Inglewood that was wasted, that had a gun. I admit that was not good. He was in a house, people were there, he was shooting, but they knew all this ahead of time. They could have went there with a shitload of not less than lethal, because here's the point. Cops are not supposed to be the judge and jury, period. The judge and jury is supposed to be the judge and jury. So they got there. The guy supposedly did come out with the gun, but they knew all this ahead of time. Did supposedly raise it, did supposedly fire off a round. You had 2 sheriffs behind a, I don't know if you guys know this, the new cars are almost literally bulletproof. They have Kevlar in the doors and everything. So they're sitting behind their cars, they're safe. They got their military ARs out with scopes, 223, and they executed a body shot on the spot. They didn't wound. They didn't do a leg shot. They didn't do a pelvis shot. For that age, you would have been on the ground. They did a kill shot. And now they're claiming Marcy law. In Florida, Marcy's law, I mean, if you're a victim, your name doesn't have to be released. Since they killed this guy, they are claiming they are victims, and they will not release their names. Here's the other reason why. Because we will expose them, we will crucify them for being a bunch of thugs, and we think one of the shooters is another person that has had issues in the past for shooting and excessive force. So this is an ongoing problem. We know something's wrong because the sheriff was going to do a press conference, and he did not do the press conference because I believe he knew it was a bad shooting. He just came out with a press release and said, yep, Marcy's Law, we're not going to tell you, fuck you. So we are trying to get the names in the back door by asking for who was put on paid leave, who came back from paid leave. That should be legal. If they fuck us on that, we can sue them for sunshine law violation. Which brings us to another topic. Sheriff is completely out of control with sunshine law violations. So is Charlotte County. So is PUNTA GORDA. We have the right to records. Sunshine law in Florida means we have the right to records. That's how you can do cop watch with hardly ever leaving the house. We have found out so much corruption through sunshine law, it's not even funny. That's how we already got all these lawsuits. More coming. One example, multiple examples. My records requests are becoming very, very slow. They should have 20 days to respond, and they're taking the full 20 days plus some, which is illegal. So that's happening. Asking for records, they are lying, flat out lying. Asking, here's another good one to get. You ask for the master log of sunshine law requests. It's a beautiful thing. It tells you who asked what, when they got it. You can usually get it for free because they've already paid for it or they already got it for free. And you know what people are looking into. They will not give me, I've seen the original list. It's a beautiful thing. Now they're giving me an illegal list which does not show the person's name, does not show the email address, any of that. Unbelievable. There's a call coming in. Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch. I am using any video here with under fair use if you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc. And please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.